Welcome back to the small work table. I've just been making a pulse motor with ideas of energy harvesting to use this Slayer exciter type of circuit and ran into a bit of a problem, and I thought, well, I might as well show the construction of this too, because this is weird. Now what I've got is on the base is a piece of tile. You can see that looks like a regular piece of black tile, and generally I will use a bathroom tile on the bottoms of these motors. I've had great success with longevity. They'll spin for years and years and years, no sapphire bearings needed and things like this. Now, so the thing was, I got the rotor made, I thought okay, and then put it on. There's a problem. This is magnetic. If I tilt it up, it's still staying there. I have no idea what could be inside this tile. As I say, it looks like a regular piece of tiling. It came from a table that we got, and it's somehow magnetic. So I'm going to have to change how I would normally do things. I'd already put this piece on, which is supposed to hold the needle in place. I'd already made the coil. That's 300 ohms, 150 ohms, then do a centre tap, and then another 150 ohms. So that was in place. What I think I'll have to do is elevate it up, use a bottle top, but then of course I can't just use a bottle top because the needle will go straight through. So perhaps a piece of this, and this is, what's it called, copper clad or something. It's very, very thin and it breaks easily and the handles snap. But a piece of that on top for the needle to go on. I'm not exactly sure yet, so I thought, well, it might be interesting to see the build, see what happens with this. And then whatever circuit I use, I don't know yet what's going to work best with this setup. So, I'll carry on building it. I've taken this piece back off now. It is just 3 holes from the regular ferro board stuff you might build a circuit on. But it does work very well to position a rotor, 1, 2 or 3rd place, you know, whichever way works out best, onto the coil. Alright, I've put the rotor on top of that bottle cap, and it's a shame that it would run straight through that plastic, but that seems to be about right. And so I'll move that bottom bottle cap along a little bit, glue that down, stick that on the top and put that on as well. While the glue is drying on that bottle top, put it in place now. I should say that that's a sewing bobbin, and I've used 40 AWG, and there's probably something like 2000 turns on there. Alright, so next I've glued the copper down onto the lid, and I've glued the other piece onto the copper. Next thing, assemble the rotor onto there, make sure it spins when it's all dried, and then I can get on with the circuit. Yeah, right, it is now working absolutely fine. When I connected it up straight directly to the wire output, the high voltage output, you can see how the LED is flashing away as it's supposed to, and I will change the values actually of the capacitors. I'll change the circuit diagram, but this is running absolutely fine like this. I'm not sure what's going to happen if I disconnect from the wire and try to do it energy harvesting, but the idea really was to just get this motor running, which it certainly is now, and it's using the circuit that was based on one that Big Clive showed from a clock, I believe it was. And so yeah, at least it is running now. I may do something extra with it in the future. But another nice effect is, you see that circuit over there, that's a harvester. If I place a finger on the battery, then that light comes on. So that's fair enough. Well, this is good. Now, as you can see, this is now wirelessly collecting. There is, in fact, I'll do this better. Right, if I slow this down and I just start it off going slowly. Okay, now we can see that the light isn't flashing that's on the circuit. It's wireless there. You can hear the note changing. I've put an extra magnet on the top, and the sound actually helps to kind of understand what's going on. Alright, and now we can see the LED is starting to flash, and it's picking up speed. And there's about ½ inch there between the 2 plates. I'm quite enjoying this. And we can hear the thing picking up speed. And that light is most certainly going now. Yeah, racing away now. But I thought the extra magnet on the top would help, because it makes a sound now as it spins. There we are. I don't know what the widest that would be, how far that can go. But I was most surprised because on the first experiment I was watching it spin and thinking, oh, that's working fine, and that was with less capacitance on it. You can see I've got a couple more capacitors on. There's 680 would be the equivalent, 680 UF. And I couldn't really weigh this up because I couldn't see the light flashing. Alright, we're starting off at this speed now. This is the distance, which it's about 2 inches, something like that. Of course, the light isn't on, but that appears to be running. It won't be as fast, of course, if it's not as near, but I'll keep this going now so we can see what's happening. Yeah, it appears to be picking up speed. Starting to make the noise. Oh, that's brilliant, that. That's quite the distance from, you know, a little tower there. 2 small plates, and off we're going. Here's a quick explanation of what we have here. On the left is a simple Slayer exciter. I'll show a circuit diagram. Very simple, 1.5 volt AAA powered. What I've done with this one is I've built it on an old solder tube, and that allows a piece of ferrite to go in or can leave it out. In this case it's been left out. The range is slightly shorter between these 2 pieces of copper plate. It's well, about an inch, something like that, something similar. Anyway, the energy is being picked up wirelessly into this circuit, which I've now replaced all those capacitors that were underneath with this single 1000 UF capacitor. So we've got that circuit. I'll show that full circuit now. And that usually will auto start from a AAA, but in this case it works best if I give the rotor a little spin first. And that's the pulse motor setup with the 300 ohm coil, 150 ohms centre tap, and 150 ohms on a sewing bobbin. And it's all running very nicely indeed, wirelessly, and it's been a good project. Thanks very much for watching.